Today, I'll be unboxing everything that I picked up during C3 weekend. Stick around.
DJ LINX is in the building.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ LINX, back in the building, back in effect,
LINX.
and back with another video. And today, yes, I'll be unboxing everything that I picked up during C3 weekend. I mean, almost everything. For those that don't know what C3 weekend is, let me school you, but first I have to tell you about Comics Curing Cancer. That's what C3 means, Comics Curing Cancer. Comics Curing Cancer is an official campaign of the American Cancer Society that myself, Legion of Comics, Rob's Fat Stacks O Comics, and Austin LeMay are a part of, and we put together. We're event coordinators, we're volunteers, we don't get paid for any of this stuff. We just love to do it to give back to the community. Since Comics Curing Cancer was created, we've raised over $200,000 with the help of people like you, the community. So that leads me to C3 weekend. C3 weekend is 3 days on YouTube where we put together auctions, shows, a bunch of good stuff, and it's not just me, Rob, Mark, and Austin that does those shows. We got a bunch of people participating. It kicks off on Friday morning of that weekend at 7:30 with the Legion's Lair, all the way up until midnight, all the way overnight. And then on Saturday, then again overnight, and then it culminates with the big auction, the big comics and collectibles auction on Sunday night. So over C3 weekend, I was able to pick up a bunch of stuff, and let's get right to it. There were several items that I picked up that I don't have with me here, and I'll tell you why. The first one of those items was a Crow pack from Big Time Collectibles. Opened that up on the In the Mix stream, and then I had it already in my possession, so I sold it immediately just so I could get some of my money back. It was a dope ass John Jang Crow variant, and I had to move that on the old eBay. The next thing was this phenomenal King Kong art piece by Dave Akins, a phenomenal one-of-a-kind King Kong art piece that was just spectacular. I got that earlier on in the year in 2025, and the minute I got that in my hands, I knew that was going to be a Legion of Comics A-OK. So I wound up winning that during the art auction. I think it was during the art auction, maybe in the mix. So I ended up winning that, and I A-OK'd that over to Mark. The next thing that I picked up that I don't have with me is this Atom comic, the Atom number 25. I won that during Sunday's auction and A-OK'd that to TM Nerdy. Now let's get into the things that I do have, and I'm happy to share with you. The first thing we have is this amazing jam piece. This thing was absolutely sick. Donated by Scott's Collectibles. This went up for auction on the In the Mix portion of Comics Curing Cancer weekend, and I knew I was gonna get that outright. It was just something that I needed to have. I ended up winning the bid, and then I am going to have this finished. I have some artists in mind who I want to complete the bottom piece of this. So yeah, this jam piece is phenomenal. Next up, we have this Jenny Frizen Pop Kill set. Now, you must have seen this on my New York Comic Con haul video, and I got this signed by Jenny Frizen. She added the C3. I got this specifically for Comics Curing Cancer. It was up during In the Mix, and it was going for way too low, so I had to step in, and I bought it for myself, mainly because I love the story that's attached to it. Like, I got to meet Jenny Frizen. I met her before, but I got to actually hang out with her for a few hours, and this book means a lot to me, a lot of sentimental value there. So more than likely, I'm gonna keep the virgin variant of this and then sell the trade dress of this, but I wanna keep the virgin variant, get it CGC'd, authenticated, whatever you wanna call it, and that'll stay in the PC. I just love the story behind this, specifically that it connects to Comics Curing Cancer and to my journey at New York Comic Con. I also picked up this set of books from my guy, Nix Kicks and Comics, who put these up for auction on In the Mix. It was a 4-book lot, and notice I said 4 books. I can't count. New York City Public School System. It was a 4-book lot, and it included this Department of Truth signed by Gabriel Delato, this Something is Killing the Children signed by Martin Simmons, Superman book, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and Gabriel Delato Fantastic Four #1. 4-book lot. I know Nick wanted that Fantastic Four, so I said, you know what, buddy, you keep that. And then the Superman book, you ship that over to Mark if he wins anything from you, or just set up a box for him on the side and have that A-OK to Mark. I kept the Department of Truth signed by Gabriel Delato, a book that I missed out on at New York Comic Con, and this awesome Something is Killing the Children signed by my guy, Mr. Martin Simmons. Another thing that I picked up from Nick, this was during the Sunday auction, which was amazing because he was able to join us on the live stream from Big Time Collectibles headquarters, and he was able to join with Aris and James O'Brien O'Bar. He showed them they were streaming, and Mr. O'Bar donated some signed books. And of course, I had to pick up our Comics Curing Cancer exclusive, the embossed version, which I didn't even know existed. So I was just like, what? Embossed? Where did this come from? Signed by Mr. James O'Bar, and that is gonna go off to CGC to get authenticated and slabbed up, and that'll stay in the PC. So big shout out to LINX Kicks and Comics for all he's done from the sidelines for Comics Curing Cancer. He's done a lot this year. Nick is just a good dude, and I salute you, good sir. These next things I won from MJ Comics on Friday's live stream. On his live stream on his channel, he had a phenomenal interview with Mark Spears, the hottest comic book artist in the game today, Mr. Mark Spears. And Mark Spears literally donated the hat off his head, donated a bunch of stuff, and I ended up winning this because I contributed some money. It's like the majority of the shows you have to contribute something and then you get added to a prize wheel, and I was able to get these winnings because of that contribution. But legit, before I even show you the stuff, big shout out to MJ Comics and Mark Spears. It was truly an epic event, one of the highlights of Comics Curing Cancer weekend. It was just dope to see MJ do his thing, Mark Spears really contribute. So of course, because it's Mark Spears, I won a bunch of Mark Spears blind bags that I'm happy to crack into at a later date, if you know what I'm saying. You gotta stretch out that content, dog. This will be put up in shorts possibly. Aside from these blind bags, MJ actually opened up a blind bag on the show, and I won this 1 in 700 Monster and the Wolf cover. Now, besides the Monster and the Wolf stuff, I also won this Big Rig #1 variant. I am a big fan of Big Rig, and I didn't know I won this until I just unboxed it right now, because I'll be honest, during MJ's stream, I actually left midway to go get a haircut because I needed to look fresh for In the Mix later on that night. So I just unboxed it, and I'm like super happy. It was something that I didn't know that I won, and I'm just like over the moon about it. I'm a big fan of Post Malone's Big Rig, and I think that's something that you should be reading. Next up, I picked up this Sonic the Hedgehog #69 signed by Miko Sawayan. I have a bunch of these, and I have some slabbed up. I do not have any of them autographed. For some reason, I didn't think about to take it to New York Comic Con to have him sign it, but Rob had a few signed, and I was able to pick one up. And this is gonna get sent off to CGC for authentication because I need this yellow label version in my collection. Next up, and this is something that I knew I had to have when I first saw it, is this Immortal Hulk #1 sketch cover by my buddy, my pal, my brother, my mate, my good time boy, Mr. Chad Shutel. I needed this once I saw him do it. I was actually a guest along with Rob and Mark on his program. He does a drawing show. It's him and Rodney Fike, who is also a contributor to the Comics Curing Cancer art book. We were up there, they were interviewing us, and Chad did this live on the YouTube show, and I knew I needed that. Like, if you guys know me, obviously Hulk is my dude. Immortal Hulk is my favorite run, or one of my favorite runs of all time, and Chad Shutel is just my homie, so I needed to have this. This is definitely something that I was looking for during C3 weekend, and I'm glad that I picked it up. Another slab that I picked up during the weekend is this reprint of Spawn #1 with the matte foil finish. This was a New York Comic Con exclusive from 2024 in a CGC 9.9. Originally, I was gonna pick this up for the PC, but Legion of Comics was just like, hey, I dare you give that away. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. This will be the, what month are we in? November. This is the November LINX box giveaway. This book is the total value of what the LINX box is. I'll also throw in a few other extra, comic exclusives and things like that. Nothing like crazy, but I'll throw that in to make it a more robust box. And yeah, this could be yours if you are a LINX Squad member. These next books that I have right here, these were also winnings, things that I picked up during the weekend. This was from John's Comics with Friends. So he had his show. I was actually on the show. I was the man in the chair. I was in the back calculating all the totals of people donating and throwing it on the wheel and all that other good stuff. I always have a blast hanging out with John, even though I'm backstage, but I just love the interaction with him signaling me, the guy in the chair, and all that other good stuff. So I donated, and I was able to pick up these books from him. Immediately when he said, these are your choices, I went with Scalped. I went with Scalped, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Scalped Volume 1, Scalped Volume 2, 2, Scalp Volume 3, and then Lazarus 1, which I told him on the last one, I was like, surprise me. Why did I choose Scalp, you ask? Well, Stu, Dr. Doom's fan club, he had a show earlier on in the week, and they were talking about your favorite underrated comics. And he said, hey, one of my favorite underrated series is Scalped by Jason Aaron. And immediately, once these were like part of the prize pool, I was just like, I need that. So I asked John to send me those, and that's because of Stu, Dr. Doom's fan club. So big shout out to you, sir. Big shout out to Nick Comic Culture and also Eric 9 Panel Grid. It's because of you guys that I got this, man. Keep up the good work. So the last thing that I picked up during Comics Curing Cancer weekend was an original art piece done by Christian E. Santo and donated by John Big Daddy Ross, an exemplary member of this comic book community. John donated this art piece, and if you don't know, I'm a big Ghost Rider fan, so immediately when I saw it, I was like, I needed to have it. Big shout out to Big Daddy Ross for always supporting Comics Curing Cancer and donating some phenomenal items. So that's it for my C3 weekend haul. Let me know which one of these items, out of these phenomenal items, which one of these items is your absolute favorite. And yeah, just let me know. And thank you to everybody that supported Comics Curing Cancer C3 during the weekend, during the week before, everything leading up to it. If you purchased an art book, whatever it is, if you spread the word, if you forwarded a post, you added it to your story, you sent it in your group chat, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And it's only because of you that we were able to not only hit, but surpass our goal this year. And that's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. As always, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, share this video, tell your friends about me, consider joining the LINX squad, and as always, most importantly, spread love, because it's the Brooklyn way. Peace.